Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Tribal Council for Power Struggle Anzhu, our sixth season. After 45 days, we started with 20 and we are left with just two. We have Jessica and Nav here tonight. And we have 9 jurors who they will be speaking to throughout the night to try and win the coveted blanket. That is the prize. So just a little bit on how this is going to work. Each finalist will have 5 minutes for an opening statement. It was decided randomly before this that Jessica would go first in opening statements and Nav would go first in closing statements. So after opening statements, each of the 9 jurors will have 10 minutes to ask questions. They're going to come in one by one. And then each juror will have 3 minutes for a closing statement at the end. And then we will do voting. And yeah. So without further ado, we are going to get started tonight. So Jess, whenever you are ready, you have 5 minutes and they begin now.
Okay, hey everyone. I had so much fun playing this game. Thank you mods for casting me and thank you players for making this a lot of fun. I'm just gonna start at the start. So coming into this game, I don't think anyone expected that much from me and they underestimated me. I mean, I'm a nice dorky farm girl from a small town, and I kind of knew people wouldn't think much of me at the start. That happens in my life and in Survivor games, and I've never been afraid to use that to my advantage. I think the most danger I was in early in this game was round 1 before people got a chance to know me. I was picked last and joined a group of people that knew and wanted to work with each other, but I climbed up that ladder and I got close to them. And after that, pre-merge was about building a strong footing and strong relationships I could trust to succeed in the merge. I used these relationships, one, to get an idol, and then again to get Nav's idol. And in a game where it's structurally designed for someone to only get 1 idol, I had 2 partway through the swap. And these relationships I built definitely paid off at the Katie vote, and then again at the Leah vote and the votes to follow. For the Katie vote, I had Nick and Steven leaking me information on what exactly was going on, as well as pulling them in on the Katie vote and really using these relationships to the best I could. At the Leah vote, I had Nav leaking me absolutely everything, and again, it came up and executed a plan to get her out without me having to use one of my idols. I told Nick and Steven exactly what was going on that round and helped convince them that Leah was a direct threat to my game, had to leave. In addition, at this point, Leah was Nav's number 2 ally, and I knew she was coming for me and was a threat to my game. I planned this move, and I think it was super bold. I knew she had the idol, and Nav never really believed me until after she was voted out. I knew the vote for me had to be on her for the success of my game. She had some of the same allies and was playing the middle and was definitely jeopardizing my game. And I think in part she saw through me, but I got Nav to be fine with voting her out, in part because I asked and I pushed for it. And he had a hand in voting out his second closest ally, but for me, that was me voting out one of the biggest threats to my game throughout the entire game. After this, and from this point on, I think I had a fairly rock solid alliance that I was the center of. I had a group of people that were pretty paranoid at parts of the game and at times who needed to be comforted, and I did that. Nick and Alex had tension, as well as Nav having tension with them. And honestly, I was an alliance that probably should have crumbled. They didn't have faith in each other at a lot of parts of this game, but individually they had faith in me and trusted me. I do think I was the glue in that alliance. I knew Nav wouldn't turn on me. I knew Alex wasn't going to turn on me, and I knew Nick and Steven were not going to turn on me, despite knowing that they probably were going to turn on each other eventually. I knew all of us working together was probably a temporary thing, and that there was 2 different factions in this big group alliance that had me in both of them. I knew when and if things turned bad, I was going to be able to play to that because none of them planned on gunning for me. And after Jared left, I knew I was a log for at least Final 4. And then the game for me became about finding the best way there. At Final 7, I had 2 idols as well. Coming from another community, I had always been very confident in my challenge ability. In a previous game, I won 5 individual immunities in a row, and I knew with these challenges, I had a good shot at winning them. And again, this part of the game, I used perception to my advantage by throwing challenges, and then talking about how bad I was at challenges. And I thought that would make people want to bring me farther. People really only worry about threats if they're capable of winning a challenge. And I thought it made me a lot less dangerous by saying I was horrible challenges and throwing these things. And between that and my 2 idols, I felt safe for a lot of these parts emerge. Overall, this game, I tried to play like my favorite Survivor player, Jeremy Collins. I tried to be the center of the action. I wanted everyone to come to me, and I wanted my alliances to come to me and give me the information, and then I decide with what I wanted to do with that. Even when they had a hard time working with each other, they worked through me, and I lined up targets in front of me. I had shields with my idols, but also with my alliance members. And I used perception to my advantage to put myself in what I thought would be the best position I could. And as well, I had been immune.
Left.
Okay, I've been immune since Final 6 all the way to Final 2 with my immunities and my idols. So thank you so much, everyone. I had a blast playing this game. I'm open to all questions and just owning my own game, the good and the bad.
All right, thank you, Jess. Nav, you have 5 minutes.
Did it start? Okay, hello everyone. Actually, I was going to start this with howdy doody. I don't know if any of you remember that, but that was going to be the thing that I said instead of hello if I could go back in time and reinvent the telephone. I'm going to end this game the way I started it, and that's by doing pull-ups. Survivor, it's fun for me. I enjoy lying. I enjoy manipulating. I enjoy making people look like fools when they're trying to be smart. A lot of the time I do that myself. I was going to prepare this huge speech tonight, but I thought it would be more fun to just be off the cuff. That's kind of like what my game was. I was like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I got one. And that pretty much sums up my gameplay. I mean, we went to rocks, for crying out loud. How can you plan the outcome of drawing rocks? You can't. That's the fun of it. That's the adrenaline. That's the unpredictability. That's kind of what I play for. I'm an agent of chaos. And the thing about chaos is it's fair. I'm a fair guy. I gave everybody a chance. I talked to people. I let people come to me. I made plans. I made strategies. Most of them didn't work because of various reasons. But through all of that, I had fun. I hope you had fun. If you didn't have fun, that doesn't really affect me because I still had fun. I'll list my highlights in this game. Finding an idol. Believe it or not, I did enjoy finding an idol, even though I gave it away. Getting Katie out pre-merge. I don't know. You all like Katie, you all respect Katie, that's great. But the fact that we got this big bad Katie out pre-merge, that was funny to me. I laughed for like 5 minutes after that happened. Drawing rocks. I've always wanted to draw rocks. I've only done it once before, and it was like a 50-50 shot that it would work. This time we were going in it with like statistically worse possibilities of coming out on top, and we still came out on top. And we got possibly the biggest threat out in the rock draw. That was fun for me. That was exciting. It was an adrenaline-filled night. The live night, where basically 2 entitled chicks had their heads shoved so far up their own asses that they couldn't hear anything else. I enjoyed voting them out. I took pleasure in that. If I could do it again, I would be much more of an asshole when I was doing it, because that was legitimately fun. Now, a huge mark against me is, hey Nav, you gave away your idol to Jessica. And Jessica seems to think it's because of some strategic manipulation that she did to me. No, sweetheart, that's not what happened. We were talking late at night, you dared me to do it, and because I'm a thrill seeker, I'm a fun-loving guy, I was like, sure, keep the idol, I don't need it. You know what, I didn't need it. Turns out I could make it to the end with just people being afraid that I had an idol and not doing anything about it. That's kind of what my game was. I seeked out adventures, I seeked out avenues for myself, and I followed them along. Lucky for me, it worked. Now, would you respect this kind of gameplay? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out. A lot of you people think that Jessica's the one running the show. There was no show to run. Like, we drew rocks at Final 8. You cannot predict the outcome of a rock draw. You cannot plan for that. So if you're going to award Jessica's gameplay for, like, running the merge, I can't really tell you much beyond like just get your head out of your own ass and look at what happened in the game. If you have any questions to ask me, I'll happily answer. I'm expecting that most of you are just gonna roast me. And you know what? I'm gonna have fun roasting you back. So this is gonna be a fun evening. I look forward to it, and let's get this show started.
All right. Thank you, Nav. All right. So like I said, one by one, the jurors will now enter. Each of them will have 10 minutes to question, do whatever they want to do. Try not to cut them off. Like I said, they're going to be running the show for 10 minutes. So if they tell you to stop talking, I would recommend stop talking. So I'm going to send the link to the first juror right now.
Man, I'm out of breath. I really need to work out more.
Pull-ups every day, not just at the start and the end of the season.
Hey, I worked out every day. It's just that I fell sick and then I didn't, I wasn't able to.
Fair.
Did you random the juror order as well?
They decided it.
Oh, they decided.
Wow.
Because some of them might not have been able to stick around like the whole time or be here like right in the beginning if they had like.
How long is this gonna go, do you think?
If everyone takes all their time, probably like an hour and a half. But I don't know if that will happen. So first up, we have Jared. So once he loads in, and I see him. Jared?
Hi.
Hello. You have 10 minutes.
Okay. Geez, Nav, I feel like I just got screamed at for 5 minutes, first of all. But anywho, here we are, Final Tribal Council. I am Jared, by the way. It's super nice to meet both of you. I figured we needed to go ahead and get the introductions out of the way since you both kind of essentially refused to speak to me the entire game. I gotta say, I volunteered to go first tonight to go ahead and get this over with because there's no way that I could sit here for an hour and pretend to care what you guys have to say. This is literally the most uninteresting final two in any game that I've ever played. And Lord knows I have like 650 of them under my belt. Y'all didn't care what I had to say all game. I don't really care what you guys have to say tonight. Nav, you even at one point had to apologize to me for your lack of responding to me. You even applauded my efforts, my persistence, and my patience in trying to speak to you. So it's not like it was due to like a lack of effort on my end or anything. And Jessica, the one time that you actually deigned yourself to speak to me in this game was basically to bitch at me for publicly calling you out about having your idol. And as you so eloquently put it at the beginning of that ill-fated phone call, I'm going to talk now and you're going to listen. You're not going to speak until I'm done. You went on about a 15-minute tirade about how I respected you. You huffed and you puffed and you pouted your behind off about how me calling you out was like our first interaction with each other. And I owed you the respect enough to have brought it to you one-on-one rather than in public. Despite the fact that I had tried multiple times to hit you up, and you'd not literally respond for like 15 to 20 hours sometimes. I asked you why you didn't speak to me that day we were talking, not very kindly to each other. And you told me that it was because you had no game with me and therefore you didn't want to sit on call and bullshit me. So you had the audacity to tell me how much I was disrespecting you, and then in the same breath tell me I have no game with you, you're useless to me, therefore I have no interest whatsoever in wanting to get to know you as a person. To me, that is incredibly disrespectful. And it wasn't just me. The number of people who are sitting on jury who say Jessica didn't really talk to me is astounding for a game where the literal point is to make strong enough connections as to make people want to vote for you to win. You didn't take the time to get to know as many people as your speech was indicating, all these relationships and stuff. I don't really get it. And to me, that's disrespecting the game. This season has been really, really good. And I personally feel like you winning the game would be like a giant shit stain on an otherwise really clean pair of undies. And I really don't want to remember this season as the season of the skid mark. So Nav, I really want to vote for you to win tonight. So I have one question for you. And if you can answer it completely honestly, I promise you, you have my vote. It can even just be one word. But what attracted you initially to Jessica as an alliance partner over other people, including someone like me?
The first time Jessica and I talked was day one of the reveal, and she had this bubbly persona. When I talk to people, I tend to give them nicknames. I try to make it a little more personal, a little more, a little more casual than it usually is. This is my strategy in Alias games too. Like, I do this all the time. When I asked her what she wanted to be called, her answer was Supreme Overlord. And for some reason, that just struck a really good vibe with me. Like, this person is playful, this person is sure of themselves, this person is not afraid to put themselves out there, because that's a pretty egotistical thing to say. And she said it with such a grace and such like carefreeness. I was like, yeah, I can relate to that, because I don't give a shit what people think about me. And I saw that quality in her, which initially attracted me to her. But of course, that was like a 5-minute conversation. So, nothing was said on that. Then the first time we talked on Islands, we actually talked, you talk about TV shows, you talk about movies and stuff like that. And our interests were very similar. Like, we were very, very similar people. And I've told Jessica this on multiple calls, that I think she and I are very much alike in a lot of ways that just resonate with me. And it makes me feel good about her. It makes me think I can predict her, because she would do something that I would do in those situations. So it was a combination of all of that. But I would say the first impression she made on me, just being a bubbly, confident person, that just really struck a vibe with me.
Okay, beautiful. Because I think that a lot of people think that the thing that initially...
Yeah, her boobs. Yes, good boobs. Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah. But but I couldn't see her boobs in our first conversation. You know what I mean? We texted.
Cool.
It wasn't on video.
Amazing. So I'm glad that that got cleared up.
Yeah.
Jessica, I have no question for you. I'm just going to treat you like you treated me, and that's irrelevant. So that's all I got, guys.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you, Jared. Jared, you can leave the hangout. All right. Next juror is being sent the link right now. And at the end, they will get here.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
All right. Once she loads in. Carly, you have 10 minutes.
I would have taken up the whole 10 minutes, but like, it's kind of hard for me to hear your guys' answers with my head stuck so far up my own ass now. So I'm going to talk to Jess.
Okay.
Also, like, that was kind of gross about her boobs. Like, anyways. Here's my thing, Jessica. I told you when I was leaving I'd be rooting for you. And I meant it. Like, I have been rooting for you. And it's been, I won't lie, it's been really hard rooting for you in that jury. It hasn't been an easy thing. But I still have issues with your game, and I want answers to them. There's a lot of questions that people have, but I'm trying not to steal their questions. But my main thing is about myself. With the Rock situation, you had the opportunity to break up a duo in Nick and Steven, and you decided to go to, I'm not even going to bring up the fact that you risked going to Rocks with Idols, because someone's probably bringing that up later and is going to tear you a new asshole for it. But the fact that you didn't take an opportunity to break up a duo when I was very much alone in this game doesn't make sense to me. And then to do it again and not take the opportunity to vote with me and break up a duo later on the vote that I left, and to risk going into Final 5 with you and Nav as a duo, them as a duo, and then Chris. If one of those immunities, like, comps would have gone differently, you would not be here. Like, you left that up to luck, which made no sense when you could have brought me, who did not have a duo and did not have a partner. Nick and Steven were never turning on each other, and you knew that. So it doesn't make sense to me why, if we had a relationship, the relationship that we had where we had voted together the entire game pretty much and had, like, Alex and I are the only people on jury who say you even talked to them. So, like, for you to say that you had all these relationships or whatever doesn't make sense. So, like, why would you not bring me someone who you talked to? And I don't understand where that, like, doesn't make sense to me, and why you wouldn't break up a duo.
Yeah. The rocks I did consider flipping at that point. I think for the success of my game, going forward, I was with these people that I did trust, Nick, Steven, and Nav going into that, and that I don't think I had a shot. I think even if I flipped with you that round, and got one of them out, I would have been in a pretty weak position moving forward. I think the rest of the people there, the other people that voted with you, they would have wanted to cut me, or I'm confident, or maybe they would have even after that, whoever with Steven still being in the game, would have preferred to work with him over me. And I think despite, if I did that, that would be a show of trust, and it would have been good for, like, working with you. I think for the rest of the people, I don't think I would have been safe there, where I don't think any of the Nick, Steven, Nav would have gone for me there.
Final 7, and you had 2 idols at that point. You risked losing them both with what you did.
Yeah, I did. You're completely right. I risked doing that. And I think the best way I had to get to the end was with these people that I did trust. And I think I did risk that. And I think rocks, it's a little result oriented, whether that I knew it was risky going into that. And there was a chance I lost my idols and went and got voted out, and I pulled the bad rock. I knew that. But I also think that I would have just had people coming after me after that, and I don't think I would have built trust. Like with you, I think I would have had you still for the rest of the game, but I don't know with anyone else, and with the people I needed to get out, which were the people that were going to definitely 100% beat me. And those were the people that I thought I had to make that move and take that risk, and it worked out. It worked out for me, which luck paid off a little bit there. And I think I do make some ballsy things sometimes, and the chance of that going through was, like, my safety was a 1 in 5, but then, like, the odds were not particularly favorable. And I took the riskiest thing because I think it had the best chance for me to get the farthest in the game.
Okay, well, I stayed at rock, so let's skip to the round I went. Then that's when I really do not understand why you would not have cut Nick with me. It doesn't make sense. I don't feel like you can have an answer that makes sense, because you went to Final 5 with a duo left in the game, and if one competition would have gone differently, you would not be here. And, like, that's just luck. That comes down to pure luck. So I don't understand evidence. Okay, I don't understand why you wouldn't have taken me, who did not have a partner in this game, and would have been willing to vote been open to ideas to vote. Like, he was 100% going to keep, Nick and Steven were going to keep each other 100% no matter what. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to Final 3 with them. I knew that there was a 100% chance that they would never take me to the end. They would take each other, and I'd always planned on not both of them being there. And that ended up happening.
But, like, you couldn't have known that was going to happen. Like, you couldn't just bank on winning competitions. Like, that's luck. I don't. Like, where was the strategy there? Because I don't, like, that to me seems like you were scared to cut one of them. That seems like scared gameplay.
When Nick left, I thought that was probably the best move for my position there. Chris was this giant threat, and him winning immunity was good there. And the thing is, like, at that point, I could have chosen to vote out Nick, vote out Nav at that time. And I chose to vote out Nick there because I didn't want to be with them all the way to the end. And I wasn't scared to cut them. I just thought I had to cut them at the right time, which I thought I did.
Okay, I just think there was a lot of luck left up to it, but it is what it is. Like I said, Nav, like, sorry, can't hear you. My head's in my ass. And I think it's really unfortunate that the world doesn't get to see my face on a blanket like it deserved. And I'm going to say blanket, 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 blanket for our jury drinking game, since I say blanket at least 20 times a day in there, because that was my fucking blanket. And when I got to jury, everyone told me it should have been mine. So bye, everyone. Enjoy your life.
Thanks, Carla. You can leave the hangout.
Bye.
Blanket.
I was ready to finish this anyway, so.
Are you part of the drinking game?
I didn't know there was a jury drinking
I mean,
game.
in as much as I'm drinking.
There was a jury drinking game like most of the game.
There is.
I haven't drank in a while. I should go get some tequila when the next jar.
That was kind of tame, to be honest. She was boring. Like, I expected more from Queen Carly.
The next person has the link, by the way.
I hope it's Leia. It'd be kind of cute if it's Leia after Carly. I could see that.
Who knows?
Oh, man, this is gonna hurt.
Last night.
This one's gonna hurt.
Once he loads in, once I see him. Steven, you have 10 minutes, buddy.
Okay. Just first off, chug to Carly. So I just want to start this off congratulating you guys to making it here. I'm not gonna lie, I really fucking wish I was here. I left last night very strongly leaning towards one person, but I came into this more undecided. And I'll just give brief statements to each of you before I ask my question. So I'll start with you, Nav. Nav, I appreciated our friendship in this game. You know that we've been through a hell of a lot. We played, last Open ID game we played was like 3 years ago, and we made it to the end. We made it to Final 3 again this time, but it was, bit different. So I want to just congratulate you on getting here. I think this is something that people may bring up at some point, but the perception is sometimes they thought you may have played for Jess. I don't necessarily see that is the case. I see you kind of just being a bit of a troll, which I because I know you, I'm like, whatever, it's Nav being Nav. And I wanted to thank you for not really bullshitting me to the extent that you could have, because I know you very easily could have bullshit me a lot more than you did. So I want to thank you for that. So that's my piece on you. Jess, if you would ask me last night immediately after I'd gotten voted out who I would have voted for, I would have said you 105%. The hang up I have right now is that I feel like you reiterated multiple times how close we were, but I felt like you also told me a lot of unnecessary lies. I felt like the primary things that I'm going to have to hit you on would be the first idol. I was told that you found that a lot earlier than when you told me. And I told you about me getting my idol. I mean, the first opportunity I was able to, because I really thought we were as close as you claimed. The second thing would be at Final 5, when you were on with Nick and I, sort of trying to tell us how upset you were that it was between you two, when I reiterated to Nick that I thought, knowing Nav being as showy and flashy as he is, he'd either pass you the idol or play it on you. So I thought the way that you were presenting that to us was a little disingenuous. And then the last tidbit I have would be at Final 4. You swore to me that you would take me to Final 2. And I'm not one of those people who thinks it's a big deal. I don't think that's a big issue. I get it. Things change. But there are a lot of people on the jury who feel like they don't know you, and they feel like it is difficult to vote for someone who they don't know, because it's sort of like, why would you give the win to someone who's a question mark? Having played the bulk of the game with you, obviously I feel like I know who you are. I like who you are as a person. I think you're a great friend, and I hope you know that. But by the same token, it's kind of like, obviously there's not going to be 9 of me on the jury, So that's sort of where I'm at with you, Jess. But my question, it is the same for both of you. Whoever wants to start it can. But my question tonight is, so there's a jury of 9. It takes 5 to win. Which 5 do you think you're getting tonight, and why do you think you're getting their votes? Whoever wants to start can.
I can go first if Jessica prefers me to go first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'd actually have to look at the memory wall real quick to remember who all the jurors are. No, I'm kidding. First of all, Stephen, I want to apologize for one specific thing that happened last night. When Jess went to vote, I kind of said a couple of things to you, assuming that she's gonna take you. And in that moment, I genuinely did think she was gonna take you. And full credit to Jessica, she fooled me. She got me good. I did believe, based on everything she told me that day, that she would take you. So, and looking back at it, I realized how bad it comes off, because that wasn't me. Um, that wasn't me trying to be trolly or anything. I genuinely meant what I said in those couple of minutes, and I just want to apologize for that.
No, you're fine. I was told, just to preface, I was told 10 minutes before the vote that this was happening. So I wasn't like, I didn't think you were. I think both of us actually thought that the other was going to be taken.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll list off the jurors that are definitely not voting for me. Alex is not voting for me, which kind of does make me a little sad, because I did really enjoy Alex, but I understand why he'd vote for Jess. Carly is not going to vote for me because Carly is an entitled asshole, basically, so she's not going to vote for me. Jacob, I don't think is going to vote for me because I've been very rude to him on multiple occasions. I think part of it is deserved, but obviously there's going to be hurt sentiments there. So that's why Jacob is not going to vote for me. Casey, I basically insulted just now, like a couple of minutes ago. So she's not going to vote for me. So I think I listed off 4 people. So the 5 votes that I'm hoping for are Leia, because even though what I did ended up getting her out, be it directly or indirectly, Leia and I were close. At multiple points in the game, Leia and I were close. So her vote is one that I'm hoping to get. Jared, I was hoping to get his vote just because he's so anti-Jessica. Not necessarily that he likes me, because I know that he doesn't like me, but he's anti-Jessica. So Jared was a vote that I was hoping for. Shit, who else was on the jury, man? Chris, yes. Chris was somebody who I don't want to say we were the best of buddies, because that would be an outright lie. So, but Chris and I had some genuinely good interactions. And I was pretty candid with him. Like he never didn't know where I stood. Once we got into the end game, like I was pretty open with him, and I made it clear to him that I would be voting him out whenever I got the chance. But that never stopped us from having just like a fun dynamic. So Chris is somebody that I'm expecting and hoping would vote for me. Coming into this, I did think that it would be very difficult for me to get yours and Nick's vote. But look, it's a season where you and Nick flip-flopped a lot. So, it's possible that you would flip one more time, this time in my benefit. No, jokes aside, I did not have a bad relationship with either you or Nick. I lied to you, sure. I did lie to you. I did lie to Nick. I lied to Nick the day he went. But it's something that I had to do, because, I had to do. You and Nick were a duo. You and Nick were a duo, just like me and Jess were a duo. So the 5 votes that I'm expecting and hoping for coming into this are Leia, Jared, Chris, you, and Nick. I did think before this started that there was an outside possibility that Casey would consider voting for me. But having insulted her right now, I think I may have blown that out of the water. But I really just did want to say that I really enjoyed the live night for how it went down. So, I can't lie about it. So yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. First of all, I'm really sorry about the unnecessary things that I said to you. At times, I wasn't sure what was necessary and what wasn't. And I do feel like throughout this game we were really close, and some of the things I said to you were genuine on a friendship level. On a game level, I wanted us, for a lot of this time, I did want to go all the way to the end with you. And when I had to make the decision, it was a game decision. I knew if the jury wasn't actually salty, which, like when I said I respect gameplay, that is why I did it. And I am sorry about the unnecessary things. At times I thought they were true, and when I realized you weren't going to take me at the end, it made me reflect on some things as well. But to your question, the 5 votes that I think I could get, I'm going to start off with Alex. Me and him were tight, like, since the very start of this game. We worked together very closely. We were a duo, and we were close up until, the point that he was voted out. I also think he understands me and my gameplay and my strategy as well. Going into this, I thought you and Nick actually would be leaning me in this because of the moves we made together and our relationships and our connections, and I think you guys understood me on a game level and personal level as well. And I thought you guys would respect my game, and you understood it more fully than you understood Nav so much, and you understood what I was doing in parts throughout the game. And going into that, that's what I was leaning against two other ones as well. Carly, I did not outright insult her like Nav did, but we did have a good relationship, and I think at points we played similarly in a sense of we actually me and her had a conversation about it the one time of having being beside a big thread and then people not respecting our gameplay as much because we're not these big giant personalities and all of that. But we had good conversations and I really related to her on that sense. Yeah, as well. I thought actually I actually did think Chris too as well. When we just talked about on a strategic level and game stuff, we actually ended up talking quite a bit about that stuff. And I think we kind of got each other and we understood what the other one was trying to do at points. I wasn't completely sure on that. But I thought we understood each other and I thought he got my game, and I didn't think I had a shot with Jared. I thought maybe Casey as well, as she went out talking about my game. I thought there was a chance that I could have got her vote too going into this. Still remember when she said everyone was a tampon up my vagina. 10 out of 10 moment. But I thought her as well too, and maybe Jacob as well. I think we did end up building later in the thing. I wish I did talk to people more one-on-one, but I think when I did start to talk to Jacob, we started to get along and have a good relationship, and I always thought there was something there on a game level, and that he got me. So yeah, that's what I say. It would come from there, but yeah. I actually listed off more than 5. I was like,
yeah, that's fine. 5 or more. Obviously more than 5 is fine as well because 5 is a magic number. So before I go, I just want to really thank you guys. It's been an incredible season. I love both of you, whatever happens. I hope you know that. I just want to finish this by giving a shout out to my BFF Gabe and then a shout out to the big ballers.
No, your time's up, leave. Okay.
All right. Good luck, guys.
Never shout out the big ballers.
Yes, Stephen.
All right. How dare he? I thought we were going to get through the whole season.
Carly, that doesn't make sense. Why did they decide this order?
I thought we were going to get through the whole season without anyone shouting out the big ballers. I was wrong.
Oh my God.
What are the big ballers?
It's like it's a chat that it's like kind of a side chat of Endure.
It doesn't matter. Send the next link. Come on.
Yeah, I already did. I sent it. I was in the process of. It's just like a side chat of a group of Endure people who are really, really close, and we've slowly added a few people over time, if that makes sense.
Stephen played Endure?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just it was a side chat thing that I don't know is weird. But next we have Alex. So when Alex loads in, you will have 10 minutes, buddy.
Am I good?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Hello, disgusting people. You are both repellent. Just kidding. I can't lie. I am so proud of both of you. I know the jury is going to murder me for being so nice to you guys, but I'm really proud of both of you. You guys were both my closest allies this entire game. I really, really respect the games that you both played. I respect you both as human beings. And congratulations on making it this far. I know it's not going to be easy. It's going to get a lot harder after me. I'm your middle point of, hey, let's have a little peace right now for 5 seconds. So, hi. I do want to let you guys know, my vote is not decided. I know that everyone assumes that I am very up Jess's butt, but that was during the game. I'm in the jury now. So you both have a shot at my vote. I honestly want to vote for whoever played the best game. and whoever deserves it the most. I think it's been an amazing season, and I want our winner to represent that. So I also dressed up for you guys. So you're welcome.
Look sharp.
I look forward to, after Final Tribal, going on call with both of you and catching up, because I miss you guys. And I am so sorry, Jury. Please do not murder me. With that said, I do also want to commend you, because you guys babysat the entire season. And I know how difficult that was, because I had a really hard time doing it. And you both did. And you put up with very difficult allies. You had two incredibly emotional, flip-floppy people like Steven and Nick, who I will not go into detail about because I am not pleased. And then you had me, who was incredibly stubborn. I was the douche, and I was not easy to work with. So good job on you guys navigating possibly one of the hardest alliances and one of the most dysfunctional ones. So good, kudos to both of you. I could have never done it. I probably killed myself if I had to deal with me, Steven and Nick, the entire season. So good on you guys. So before I go into a little bit more detail, since I do have time, I have one question first, and then I'll go into more. It's just a yes or no. Did you guys know that I was going? Yes or no? No?
No.
No, neither of you did. Well, that makes me happy. Good. I don't have to get angry, so good. I'm glad. Now, so I really like you. I think you're an amazing person. You probably had one of the worst opening statements I have ever heard in my entire life, and it almost sounds like you're giving up. And I hope that's not the case, because you're a good dude. But that was awful and very, very conceited. But that's just you. It's good. Two things that bothered me a little bit about you was when I left, you cheered about the good move, and I was fucking heartbroken. And you were like, "Oh, good move!" And I was like, "Fuck you, now." Like, and then after that, you said, "Fuck the entire jury." And I was like, dude, the entire time that I was in the jury, I've been talking both of you up, getting into multiple arguments with multiple people about both of you. So then hearing you be like, "Oh, fuck the jury," when I'm in the jury, I was like, really now? Like, I'm here looking like an idiot, defending the fact that you're this great player, and then you say, "Fuck it." So that was a little not kosher for me, but it is what it is. I hope it wasn't real. I hope that it was just you being a troll. It's all good. I think we're friends. I do have a question for you. I don't know how many people know, but you had really close relationships with both Nick and Steven before this game came. You worked closely with both of them in games before, and you gravitated towards them in this game as well. I want to know how much the fact that you knew them before the game influenced your entire game and sticking with them for such a long time.
Okay, that's a very fair question, and a very big reason that I initially gravitated towards Stephen was because of our past relationship, even though it wasn't the best. Like, that's usually the case with me. If I have a past relationship with somebody, it's never 100% positive, because at some point in time I will have screwed them over. That's just what I do. So that's the thing about me and past relationships, right? Like, even if I know somebody, it doesn't mean that I'm automatically going to work with them, just because there's always going to be this doubt of whether or not they can trust me. It's more so of them being able to trust me. But I will say that a huge part of the reason why I gravitated towards Stephen originally was because we knew each other. Nick and I didn't really know each other that well. Like, we've only ever played one game together, although we are in the same community. So, again, we do have a positive relationship. So yes, the fact that I knew Nick and Stephen was a huge factor in me wanting to work with them. Same goes for you as well. Like, you and I didn't have a bad relationship. Like, sure, we weren't the best of buddies, but like, you and I didn't have a bad relationship. But if you look at that and you look at who my closest ally in the game ended up being, my closest ally in the game was Jessica, somebody who I never knew before. And I just clicked with her instantly, and that connection is what I thought was the strongest. It outweighed any previous knowledge I had about anybody. I was never going to betray Jessica. Like, if the jury has any doubt about who I was going to take to the end, I was going to take Jessica. But I just thought, perception-wise, it would look better if she took me rather than me taking her. That's why I didn't try in the final immunity challenge. But like, I was always going to go to the end with Jessica.
Okay.
So yes, sorry, go ahead.
I think I got what I needed. Thank you so much. I have 4 minutes. Shit. Okay. Okay. So, Jess, hi.
Hi.
I miss you so much. Please stop touching your hair because I have been drinking every time you touch your hair with Chris and Leah, and I need to do this. So please stop, please. With that said, I do think you were the glue that held the alliance together. I thank you for that. Thank you for your patience dealing with me. That goes to Nap too. But you don't have my vote secured. So please just continue being honest and open. And both of you, I want you to see that. I have one more question. You both have 2 minutes to answer it. So please don't take too long because otherwise I have to leave. So I need you guys to say one thing that you will change about the game or how it went. You have to say something. You cannot say, oh, nothing because I'm here, because that's a cop-out and that's boring. So I need you guys to tell me one thing that you will change. And I will start with Jess since Snap just talked.
Change about like my game?
The game in general. Something that you wish happened differently.
Something that I wish happened differently. I would say the round that Nick left, I think I should have just been more honest with what I was doing that round and just been like just overall more so how I handled it so much, but like as a round sorry, I'm just like I keep thinking of what I would do differently in a situation. But I would say that round for that sake, if round happened differently.
Okay, that's good. Like, okay,
no, so I mean the round that you left.
What about you now?
I'm gonna pick something from the pre-merge, honestly, because as much as she was a crazy cuckoo bird, I really like Sherry. I really, really enjoyed Sherry. And if there was any realistic way to have her not go home first or at all, I would have pursued it. I would have genuinely pursued it. So I'm going to say that. As a bonus, if you want something in the merge, I would have been a much bigger dickhead to Carly and Casey. Specifically Carly. Maybe not so much Casey, but I would have been a much bigger douchebag to Carly because that would have been so much more satisfying to me. But yeah, that's my answer.
Cool. Well, the right answer was me not going home, so you both suck. But it's fine. I just wanted to comment. I didn't get it. It's okay.
Also, I'm just gonna say in the last 10 seconds, I was not applauding the fact that you left. I just thought, as a fan of the game, that was a good move. That's why I was applauding. But, yeah.
After staying 8 hours, though, whatever. Not bitter. Anyways, you're both amazing. Best of luck. Continue answering this really hard. Be confident in yourselves. You both played really good. Just stop touching your hair. Nap, sipping dick. Love you guys. See you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
That's Alex, everybody. He's like my big brother. I was heartbroken when he left. But next link.
His heart was broken when Brandon Graham tackled Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Just a fun fact.
How did I figure that was going to get worked in?
I try to be informative on these broadcasts. That's all.
Who's left? Leah, Jacob, Chris, Nick.
I almost just said them in order. So, now we
right.
Casey, you have 10 minutes.
All right, let's go. So first of all, I want to congratulate Jess for getting here. Nav, you had a shot at my vote coming into this, but I had no issue with you. But yeah, you told me like a conceited bitch with my head on my ass. Like literally my only issue, like at the time I left, was that I thought you were like a tampon of Jess's vagina. So I hope you lose by 1 vote because you're not getting mine. But I do still have some questions for you. Hey, do you want to fucking win this game? Because you just came off like such a fucking douchebag with your pull-ups and your you just seem like you intentionally tried to throw away like me and Carly's vote. Do you like want to win, or are you gonna give this game away like you gave away your idol to Jess?
I do want to win, but I want to do it my way. I'm not going to conform to anybody else's idea of how I should or should not win this game. If I'm going to win, I'm going to win staying true to myself. and what I am is a conceited asshole. That's how I played this game. So I'm not gonna change my way up. I'm gonna start kissing ass just because it's FTC. You're not gonna get that from me.
No,
So,
I don't want you to kiss my ass, but you for no reason, like went out of your way to call me like a conceited bitch or whatever.
yeah,
Like,
I thought what you did during live night.
Like
I thought what you did.
Around I went home, you literally was like, I don't give a fuck what the jury says. And to me, that just seems like horrible gameplay.
Look, what you did during the live night, I thought that was pretty low. You made fun of Nick in a way that really hurt him. So if you can dish it out, I think you can take some of it back. And so if you're not happy with that, feel free to not vote for me. I do not give a fuck. If the people who want to vote for me will vote for me for who I am, that's how I want to win. Like I said, I'm not going to change the way I am just because you want me to change the way I am. That's not what you're going to get.
I'm not asking you to do that.
Right. So yeah, that's my answer. Like, there is no set criteria for what is a good gameplay versus what is a bad gameplay. I play the way I want to play. If people like it, well and good. If people don't like it, they don't have to vote for me. I understand the risk coming into it, and I understand the reward associated with it. If I win, I'm gonna feel great that I won while playing a trolly asshole-ish game. If I lose, I'm gonna lose being myself, and I'm okay with that. I'm not giving the game away to anybody. I gave my idol to Jess on a whim, basically, but I didn't need it. I was good enough to play around it, to play around the fact that she did hold on to my idol. She did keep it for herself or whatever. I was good enough to play around it. I was good enough to use the perception that people believed I still had the idol. That was enough for me to get through it without actually needing to play it. That to me is good gameplay. That's my gameplay. I chose to do it. I made it work. That's how I do things.
All right, another question was in your opening statement, you talked a lot about how you took risks and stuff, but to me it seems like that was just like unsafe gameplay. Like it was just like everything was like a big risk. So can you like elaborate? Because it just seems like you kind of threw shit at the fan and hope it stuck. Like,
have you not been paying attention
backwards into where you are now?
Have you not been paying attention? I said I'm a risk taker. Like I said, I'm here for the thrill.
Like, please explain to me how taking risks like that, like giving away your idol, and there's 5 idols in the game, like going to rocks, like how is that risk? Like obviously you're fucking here. So, but like how is that good strategic gameplay? You put yourself in a place where you could have easily been voted out. The reason you weren't voted out is because you're such a big fucking goat.
No, again, if that's the case, why are you bothering asking me questions? Like, that's the point. You have a set idea of what constitutes good gameplay versus what constitutes bad gameplay. You're not open to actually consider that somebody else's game might be good just because you don't agree with it. I'm not going to sit here and try to like sway you to say, hey, my way of playing is the best strategic gameplay in the world. That's not true. The way I play is not purely strategic. I play for a combination of fun, for thrills, and to see how far I can push the envelope while also getting ahead. I play a lot of combination of things. If you don't agree with it, please don't vote for me.
I'm not saying like I want you to explain it to me. I don't want I'm not asking you to like fight me. I'm asking you what were all the benefits of all the risk you took?
It's like you're not even paying attention.
Okay, never mind. Moving on. Okay, so Jessica, I didn't have any tampons, but I did have some pads. Honestly, we did not talk much, and it bothered me a little bit, but I feel like you played the hell out of this game, and I feel like the jury needs to know that. You handled yourself with grace, and I feel like you had, even though some people are upset that you didn't talk to them, at least you weren't a fucking dick to them. So that's a plus for you. Nav can say what he wants. He gave his idol on a whim. But in a game with 5 idols, I think that it's truly amazing that like you even got that to happen, because I would not have done that in any circumstance. I was saying since the round I left that like you were gonna win this game, and yet they let you get to final 6, final 5 with both your idols. I was excited about like throwing the 2 at the end, because I feel like you really needed to do that. Like, I'm just really, I really liked the game that you played. And I don't know. Like, my question to you is, like, what was your biggest, what do you think your biggest move was, and why do you think you should be Nav?
First of all, thank you for saying that. I think I made quite a few moves, but I think one of the biggest ones, at least the way how I saw it, was the Leah move. I think I was a big player in that, especially in executing that and getting that to go through. Despite Nav originally actually leaked me the information. I did get that information from him, but from there I was like, I want to vote out Leah. And I told Nick and Steven, I was like, oh, you got to play an idol on him, and then because I'm not sure when I could have gotten her out in the game. She was playing a good game, and you're right. My personal relationships with not my immediate alliance was definitely lacking, and if I could go back and fix that, I would. But I think that move in particular was really big for my game. And I think I do deserve to beat Nav. I don't like throwing the deserve word out there because it's up to you guys to decide. But I do think I deserve to beat him, and I think I played this game. I tried to play it as strategically as I could. There were spots when I definitely did some risky things, which maybe I could have flipped, or something. But strategically, I was in there and I was making the moves I thought I had to make for the sake of my game. And I was never going to. The thing is, it's like Nav did give me his idol, and he gave me information and a lot of things for moves that benefited me, where I didn't really do the same to him. Like, he asked for me multiple times for his idol back, and he said he regretted giving it to me, and he still worked with me, and I didn't do that, and I was playing to my game 100%, and that's what I was going to do. And at 6, I played the idol, and at 5, I played the idol back to back for myself in this game. Yeah.
Another question is, why did you pick Nav to go to the final 2 with you over Steven?
I picked Nav to go with me. I think Steven's game was really, really, really good. Like, I respect the hell out of his game. And part of it, like, I knew from what I got from the jury, like during the rounds that you guys were there, it's that he got like most likely to be dragged to the end and stuff. And I knew people were salty at him and Nick in parts of this game, but I thought more of that was directed at Nick and less so him. And I'm like, if the jury wasn't salty, or if they were, and he was like, he's a great dude and really friendly. And I know he socially connected with a lot of you guys on the jury, where that was my weaker point. Whereas I picked Nav instead because I think as much as we did do a lot of these things together, I think I was more dominant in that decision making and pushing through with my agenda. Yeah, as well as I think I was more dominant out of the two of us in these things. Where I think Steven, had a better game, and I couldn't count on what I thought the jury might have thought, because going in, there was no way to exactly know whether they would have been really salty or not, or what they would have respected or not. And I think game-wise, that is why I made that decision.
Oh. All right, so I think I only have like a minute left or whatever.
Yeah, you have like 30 seconds.
All right, but I just want to remind the jury, we need a queen to represent this season, and that queen is not Nav. Nav literally gave his idol away. He gave me and Carly's jury votes away. And I just think that the tampon queen needs to win. And Nav, I hope you get herpes. Bye.
Casey, your time's up. All right. Oh, say
Don't
Casey,
regret saying any of it. I do not regret saying any of it.
Next link is going out. Only 4 left.
Oh man.
You're over halfway. Woo. And yeah. Woo. Oh, I need to stop drinking wine. I have to be up in 7 hours to coach.
Coach?
Yeah, my second job, I coach volleyball, and we have a tournament tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
You can call me Benjamin Wade. Just kidding. Don't do that.
I love playing as coach.
Oh, coach. Wait. Oh. There he is.
Hi guys.
Nick, you have 10 minutes.
What the fuck is an Olympic?
What? I'm so confused right now because I had so much to say coming into this, and then everything just got torn apart in everything that just happened. And it's very confusing. And I'm not a good talker, and you both know that. And this is why you shouldn't have voted me out, because I would not have been able to talk my way through this fucking final tribal council. So, make so clear, guys. Oops. Also, my computer does that. No, what I did appreciate that you said is that I'm not gonna like bring up this false idea that this game was some like huge strategic thing, and I think what you said kind of made me appreciate how you played, because it's like the way I played. No, that wasn't some. Steve and I played was not some brilliant strategic work. Everything was crazy. Everything was a mess. I mean, it was reactive and it was protective, and like, yes, I wanted to make sure I was safe at a certain point, but most of the time, yeah, it was just chaos. And that's why I think strategy is such a hard thing to argue in this season. And that's why I want to ask other questions now, because if I ask strategy questions, I feel like that's bullshit. I can ask like singular strategy questions like, when you voted me out, lying to me, was that strategic, Nav? Because I was basically, whatever I was, you thought, when you said I wanted to fool people who thought they were so smart, at that moment, I was very vulnerable. I didn't think I was smart.
That was not aimed at you. Come on, you know that was not aimed at you.
I understand. I just want to know, is that because you were worried if I knew that Jess had the idol, I would turn it to you?
I was very worried. And to be honest, I was almost convinced the whole day that that is what you guys were gonna do, that you, Chris, and Stephen would vote for me. Because my thinking was, if you believed that I'm telling you I'm voting Jess, why would you not just vote for me and have me vote Jess and her leave that way? You know what I mean? That was my worry going into that round. And I had told this to Jess. I had told her she needs to play the idol on me. She claims that she was going to do it. I never actually bought that she was going to do it. I thought that she would always just play it on herself to be safe. But that's something we can get into later. Like, it's just a he said, she said thing. But yes, my reason for lying to you all the way up until deadline, because that's what I did, was to make sure that you voted Jess.
I mean, I didn't know. Like, when I said it was a 50-50 shot, it's because I know you. I know, like, if I say something to you, it's like, good luck, Nick, this is Knob. So, and I think that's what I appreciate about you, is that fact, is that you make me feel comfortable in that I know what you mean. And even when you're lying to me, when you say you're talking to your mom, I know you're talking to Jess.
No, what? No, I was talking to my mom multiple times. What?
Whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I do. So my problem is that literally, Nav, Lee, I'm not sorry, too many fucking people. I'm a little bit tipsy. Casey asked you a legitimate question. Regardless of how frustrating it was, she asked you a legitimate question.
Yes.
And you could have answered it. Instead, you didn't. And that is frustrating, because that is it's different when people are really coming to attack you. You're not just talking to Casey, you're talking to all of us. Okay. And that's silly that you would act like that.
No, see, here's the thing. The way she phrased her question and the way she kept following it up, she has an idea in her head of what a good strategy is versus what a bad strategy is. And she was not willing to budge on that. That is my whole point. That is my point about Carly as well, that she has this idea in her head how the game is supposed to be played. and I don't fit that mold. And I'm not somebody who's going to try to fit that mold. That's just not my style. I do what I want to do the way I want to do it. And it was a judgment call on my part that Carly would not buy it and that Casey would not buy it. Carly was my stronger read. Casey was my weaker read. Admittedly, I make mistakes too. Hey, I'm not perfect. Surprise. But I think that going into this, I knew that they expected things of me, and I was never going to do that. I was never going to give them exactly what they expected of me. That's just because that's how my personality is. I don't like to cater to people. You know what I mean? Like I want to do my own thing. I want this on my own terms. If I can't have it on my own terms, I'm okay with not getting it. Like I think that's the perception of the jury, is that a finalist is not doing everything in their power to sway as many votes as they can. They think that I'm throwing the game because I'm doing that. That's not true. You don't need 9 votes to win. You need 5 votes to win. Yeah. And I'm doing my best to the people who I think are genuinely open to voting for me. And the people who are not going to be open to voting for me, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
I understand, but I think there's a certain, I appreciated your defensiveness at some points, but then there were certain times where there was an open-ended question where you could take it to your advantage and you didn't. And that's I'm not going to judge you on like fucking, that seems like a very minute point, but like just that is not, that doesn't make sense. It is confrontational just for confrontational purposes.
Well, I disagree with that. It wasn't confrontation for just being confrontational. I answered honestly, and she wasn't happy with the answer. That's what happened.
That's a different question, but that's fine. And I agree. I agree that there is some part of you that I appreciate, and I just think that there was certain parts that I didn't appreciate. So okay. I gotta get to Jess.
Okay.
Jess, I just felt like when you voted me out, it was like you voted me out at my expense to make sure that you got Alex's vote, because it's just like I actually feel like I am this like really crazy emotional person, and I know I'm hard to deal with and all that stuff, and you don't know anything to me because it's a game, and I appreciate that. But like when you wrote that for Alex, it just felt like, fuck Nick, this is for Alex, and so that's what I felt. And I want to know what was going through your head when you did that.
I'm so sorry about that. Honestly, I didn't think much of it. I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, it's more of a joke or anything. And I'm like, oh, I want to spice up my vote and stuff. I didn't think of it that it would hurt you in the sense that I'm sorry. I didn't think about how it would affect you. I'm sorry about that. I did write that on there. And
yeah, and
I didn't think it was for Alex's vote. Yeah, no.
And I appreciate that. I get it like that. The Alex vote put you in a bad
2 minutes left.
Okay. Alex vote put you in a bad position. And I think that you did really, well from there. And I think that the truth is that we did have a lot of trust in you. And that can't be overshadowed by anything, because I was sure that you weren't going to vote me out. And to the point at Final 5, I was okay with you voting me out. I just wish that it wasn't under those circumstances. I think I left the game thinking the way you lied to me was strategic and the way Nob did was stupid, but I came to think that the way you did was stupid and the way Nob did was strategic. And I just right now, the 2 minutes like proved me wrong.
How was what I did was stupid?
There's only a minute left.
That's all I was saying was that's what I thought. But I was proven wrong by the way you just told me. No.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
No, as well, I thought the thing is, it's like I did want the votes on me because I would have preferred playing my idol myself. Nav says I wouldn't have played it on him, but the thing is, I knew Nav was going to take me to the end, and I didn't want to just like the thing is, it's like I wanted a higher chance of getting to the end, and that was a big part because I knew you, Nick, you and Steven were going to take each other, and if I was in that 3, I know I would have to win it. Where Nav, I knew he would take me. And when I lied to you, the thing is, it's like I would have preferred Nav to stay because I would have had a higher chance of getting to the end. And and when I did lie to you, it was part because of that. And I knew it probably would come back because at the point, like, we could have voted Nav out there. We could have. I just didn't think it was in my best interest to get to the end, and that's why I did it. And yeah.
Thank you. No, that was great. That was perfect. Okay. All right. You guys answered that really well. I'm still having trouble. So, love you both. Good luck. Yeah, bye.
Why did you shave?
Oh, fuck. Don't get Ty into this right now.
Nick, your time's up.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, next juror has the link. This will be juror number 7.
3 more, right?
3 more, yep.
Oh, Jacob is one of the 3. Oh, boy.
Chris,
Oh,
Jacob.
God. Please be Jacob next. Please be Jacob next. Please be Jacob next.
I know who it is. But
because I feel like I haven't been an asshole in like 10 minutes, so I need to feel it again.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. All right.
Come on.
And Chris, you have 10 minutes. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Hello. I'm really drunk, so bear with me. Thanks, Jessica, for fucking touching your hair so much.
It's an anxiety thing.
Okay, so I first want to say congratulations to you both. I am someone coming into this situation completely open-minded, as I have been the entire game. I have felt like this game in particular has been very difficult for me in terms of just being put in a situation where I feel like there was so much complacency and so many people not willing to like bend, make moves. So I honestly had to play in a way that I've never played before, as I've had conversations with you both about. So this has been a really trying experience for me, and I've proved a lot of things to myself that I've never thought that I could prove. You guys hit a lot of the shit that I was gonna discuss with you in terms of just like talking about perceptions and adaptability. So I'm just gonna do like a little blurb for each of you, and then I have one question that I wanna ask that's for both of you. So I'll start with Nav. Nav, coming into this, I knew exactly who you were. Like, we had minimal conversation, but I always felt like there was transparency there. Like, I always felt like no matter what, I knew where your mind was. Like, even when you weren't being honest with me, I was like, he's not being honest with me. And like, he might know that I know that he's not being honest with me, but like, that was just the nature of our relationship, because I felt like I had transparency with you. And I felt like there was a mutual level of respect there that we had for one another. So coming into this, I really respected you for being authentically you throughout this game, and really like putting forth that person in the game. One of the most frustrating things for me to happen in this game was when Steven and Nick weren't passionate enough about voting you out at Final 5, because that's what I wanted to happen. I knew for sure you weren't going to play an idol on yourself, like if you had it or not. You weren't going to play it on yourself, and if anything, you would play it on Jessica. Like, that's what I knew in my gut, and I wanted them to be passionate enough to say, let's vote Nav. And I got it from Steven, but I didn't get it from Nick, and they are still kicking themselves on the jury for that. So well done. Well done for getting into their heads. Like, I think that was a strength of yours throughout the entire game. Getting into people's heads, really like fucking with them throughout all the circumstances, and like getting people to change the course of their game to go after other people as a bigger target. I will say that you, just based on my conversations before coming into this tribal council, you have a very strong chance of winning this game. And I would say that I wish that you handled some of the questions beforehand a little differently, but I also am not shocked at the way that you handled them, because it's authentically you. And I think it's natural for someone when they feel attacked to, you know, not necessarily feel as if you want to give that person the respect that you feel like you're not getting. So I understand where you're coming from, but I wish that you all would sort it out. Like, that's just me being the martyr, or not martyr. I'm fucking drunk. me being the diplomat. That's the word I'm looking for. Me being the diplomat in this situation. Thank you. I know I recovered very well. Thank you. Thank you. I love vocab. So that's just my perspective on your game. I want you to know that I was fully in tune. Like, I played an idiot. Like, I played like, oh, please, like, I'm so nice, keep me. But I was fully in tune in terms of like what you were doing. I will move on to Jessica now. So Jessica, I was a very, very big fan of yours, like throughout this merge. Like, I think it was very evident from very early on in the merge that you were someone, a force to be reckoned with. It was very evident that you had a very close knit of people who weren't willing to throw you under the bus, that weren't willing to throw your name out there. And to me, I was like, this girl is in these people's heads and like is running the show behind the scene low key. Running the show was a very loose statement because like I didn't know the details in terms of what actually was being performed. I will give credit to Nav because Nav had to infiltrate and had to get a lot of the information from the other side in order for these moves to be executed effectively. But you being able to maintain that relationship and being able to have the trust in him to be able to make these moves in your favor is exceptional. And it's not something that should be frowned upon at all. I can't believe that I'm so articulate when I'm drunk. Holy fuck. God damn, 5 minutes already? Shit. Okay, I'm long-winded. So I want to give you kudos there. I will say one of the pitfalls that I'm having with you is that we had a lot of really, really great conversations towards the end of my time in this game. I felt like we did get very much on the same page, but I also felt like you lacked transparency. And one of the things about me personally is that I'm a very transparent, very honest person. Unapologetically myself, and it's my downfall in these games all the time. So that's just kind of some of comments that I have regarding your game. Now I want to get to my question before I fucking run out of time. So, final 8, we go back there. Rocks. The situation is completely different. In the situation now, Steven is rocked out. So now your final 7 is me, Jared, Casey, Carly, you two, and Nick. Sorry, Nick, for getting you earlier today. So walk me through what you think would happen in that scenario throughout the remainder of the game. I just want to see how you think about like your perceptions in terms of like other people's games and what they would do, what you would do in that situation. Go.
Who do you want to go first?
I'll let ladies go first. Jess.
Okay. I feel like definitely then after that, me, Nav, Nick, we would definitely be in a very tricky situation. I think it was likely that votes probably would have gone towards me the next round, or maybe even Nick. I think I would probably have to play my idols there. I would try to, the thing is, it's like, I think going through with the rocks and it going wrong, I would have lost a lot of Carly's trust there probably. I would try to go back with her and see if there's build something, because she did say she did feel alone, and me and her did have a good relationship, and I said I did want her to stay longer in this game. So I think I would try to appeal to you guys, and then just honestly for me it would probably be about survival there on what I would want to do. And
sounds familiar.
I'm not, no, the thing is, it's like part of me wants to be like, I would try to like keep me, Nav, and Nick together and see if I could get like people to vote with us. Because the thing is, it's like, I think my best shot would be against one of those two at the end. And if I just flip back and forth, like, I'm not sure what my game would be at that point. I do think I would have 2 idols. At least I know I could play according to that. And if I play correctly, that could have gotten the numbers back. Playing my idols correctly could have gotten me back into a position of power, which I would have tried to do. But I think it would definitely have had to come down to me playing them in that situation. But yeah.
Got it.
I think it's actually pretty clear cut. If Stephen goes at final 7, the outcome of this game, I think, relies on final 7 entirely. I would have tried to get Jess to play her idol correctly. Not just one. I would have told her to play both idols in final 7, because that gives us a better shot. And then we can do rocks again at final 6. Partly because I just love rocks, so I would have tried to push for that. But like, I also think the way you guys came together at final 8, that kind of solidified that the 4 of you did have enough trust in each other and did not trust Nick, Stephen, and Jessica, or myself, a combination of us. So we would not have had a chance to infiltrate you again. I think Final 8 did draw a line in the sand from which there was no coming back. So my strategy would have been to get Jess to play both idols at Final 7. One of them would work, most likely, because you guys didn't necessarily know that she had both of them at the time. Maybe Jacob had told his video, so maybe everyone had a guess, but like nobody knew for certain that she had it. But anyways, regardless of whether or not we still did have 2 idols, and I would have gotten Jess to play it at Final 7, go to Rocks again at Final 6, and again, luck decides there too. If your side comes out on top, the final 2 is people, is 2 people who people really enjoy and want to vote for. If our side comes out on top again, the final 2 is probably still me and Jess, because I would have beaten Nick in the final challenge, or Jess would have beaten Nick in the final challenge. So I think even if Stephen gets rocked out there, it still is a pretty similar game of side versus side, and it just goes down to Rocks one more time. Now, if Jessica gets rocked out at Final 8, all of our games are over, because all of our games are basically over. So I was fine risking Rocks because I didn't actually have an idol, and I'm a thrill seeker, so I wanted to do it, but she did it for her reasons. So I'm sorry that the Final 8 didn't turn out in your favor, because that was really do or die. And yeah.
Thank you. I just got wrapped up. I just got broomed off the fucking stage. So good luck to you both. Love you. Bye.
See you, Chris.
Bye.
Thanks, Chris. I just don't want this going any longer than it already is.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Leah's gonna be. I hope Leah is last then, because I don't want Jacob to be the last one.
Who knows?
You do.
I do. You're right.
Fucking clown.
Okay, that was rude.
Hey, I'm Nav. Have you met me?
True, you voted me out once.
Does your bow tie spin?
Huh?
Does your bow tie spin?
No, it's a little clip on. It's like a clip that I've never had before. It's weird.
Oh, come on, man!
Hello.
Baby girl, you have 10 minutes.
Okay, first of all, this is the hat that I was wearing when I was voting out. So instead of saying hell yes, it says hell no, because I'm not happy with this final 2. Jessica, first of all, congrats on being here. I mean, I feel like you and I, girl, okay, first of all, I'm a little bit drunk and I'm a little bit high. So just let me slowly, get through this. You said that, I was a very critical factor in your game. And I totally believe that was, because let me fucking tell you, girl, I literally said, I was like, Jessica's gonna fucking win this game. People are overestimating Alex and underestimating Jessica. And that's exactly what happened. So, my question for you, during Carly's speech, you said you decided you're going to the end to the people that were doing what you wanted to do. But what I think you decided to do is hold on to these idols until the end, because I feel like you were a little bit selfish when it came to the idols, and because you wanted to take the easier route when it came to the idols. You had these people, and I just want to know, as somebody that left with the idol in their pocket, it is the most traumatic experience I've ever gone through in my entire life. So I just want to know, why in God's green earth did you decide with 2 idols in your pocket to go to Rocks at Final 8? You have a 1 in 5 shot of leaving, girl. I just really want to know what the decision making was behind that, because I was very sad that it ended up working out for you, but I also was like, this game is luck, so I get it.
I think that round, I think you are right to say that I was selfish with my idols in that way. And the thing is, it's that round I could have just flipped, or I could have just played my idol there too, or whatever. But getting through, I think that having Rocks go my way and getting through that was the best thing that could have happened for my game. Doing that, I think, as much as risky it was and maybe a little reckless, I knew if that happened, I would have had a lot easier time getting to the end. And you're right saying that I wanted to take the easier route there. And I think if that and it did work out, and it made it easier for me to do that. And then I could just play my idols at a time where I knew it would be where I could just back to back. I could just do that. I also think when it gets lower on the numbers, no matter what social connections you have, people at least I find in late game, people start to be like, this is what I need to do to get to the end, despite this person being my friend. I'm like, I could become a target here, and I wanted my idols there to guarantee that I could get through those rounds. And that is why I did it. And I took the risk, and it worked out. But yeah, going out there with 2 idols would have really sucked ass.
Yeah, like I also feel like your social game was a little atrocious because let's be real, girl. Like we were on a swap tribe together for 2 weeks and we never called one-on-one. Nav's laughing in the corner because he knows.
No, I was called.
Knows.
I was
called. You were coughing. Anyway, so like I feel like a lot of the times you relied on people like Nav and Alex and Steven and Nick to protect you. So if you were to ever play a game again, how would you approach a social situation? Because I feel like because you had these 4 people so far up there, like I just want to know like how social you can be and like give me tips, girl. Like I want them. Give me the tea.
Yeah, no, on it. Okay, if I ever, the thing is, it's like, I play a lot of PMing games, and I'm kind of shy, awkward dweeb, and that doesn't really have much to do with it. But if I could do it again, I would talk so much more just to everyone else. And I knew I had these people, and I worked really hard with the people that I was with. And I think sometimes I spent too much time on call with them, talking to them, and 100% not talking to the other people that are deciding this vote tonight. You're 100% right with that. Me not going on call with you for a long time. Yeah, my fault completely there. Sometimes we couldn't make it work, but yeah, that is a fault of mine there. And I think sometimes I should have thought about that more. Nav was always telling me things that like you were saying and stuff, and I thought he had a little bit more control of you sometimes, and you definitely proved that he didn't have control over you in the game. But a lot of the game stuff I got from that, and I did rely on them to tell me things, and they did tell me things. Sorry, my dog just went at my cat. Sorry. Yeah. Again, I would definitely talk to people on a personal level, and even if I didn't have the intent of having a game relationship, I think it would be better for me to try again to build the just a more personal bond with people. And I tried to do that. I realized that was a fault of mine definitely more at the 2 rounds to merge. I'm like, I need to start doing this, and I tried more with Chris and Jacob, who were still in the game, but I realized I missed opportunities earlier in my game, and I tried to make up for that in some way. But there's also ways that when you mess up, and you gotta try your best. Sorry, I won't keep rambling.
No. You're fine. Okay, so in the fact that I do not work with girls a lot, let's talk about Nav now. Nav, I'm gonna get to you. Seems like neither of you seem to like the girls. I feel like Nav, like I'm like the only girl that like you really kind of like gravitated towards, other than Jess. I don't like the fact that you've been trashing Carly and Casey, as Carly is a very close friend of mine. It seems a little bit sexist, but that's neither here nor there.
I take a little bit homophobic. I'm sorry, I take offense to that. Don't call me a sexist. Do not call me a sexist.
I'm just saying that this is the tea that I've been gathering throughout this tribal council. So
your tea sucks.
Let me talk. It's my turn. So other people have said that your views on LGBT matters are also a little bit iffy, but that's neither here nor there either. But I also decided to work with you because of these situations. In the beginning of the game, Danielle and Austin were very against you. And I decided, let me go towards Nav because of the fact that these 2 people are so far against him. I supposedly, with what Jessica said, that I was your number 2 in the game. So I want to know, especially during my round, 2 things actually. Number 1, why in the fuck would you decide to give your idol to somebody? And I will give you this though. I will give you this, that you played up the fact very, very well that you had the idol. And even when people in the jury have said that like we knew that Nav didn't have it anymore and that Jessica had 2 idols in the game, that they didn't do anything about it. Like they knew that you were powerless at that point and they still didn't do anything about it. And that I will give you, like, kudos to you. So my question is, like, during the round that I was pushing Jessica's name, like you could have thrown anybody else's name out there that people were pushing her name. So why would you say that her number 2 ally was going after her when I could have gotten you in with those people. And also the fact that, like, you seemed devastated when I was voted out, and I was very upset that when I came to find out that out of everybody, you were the one person that, like, I underestimated their relationship with Jessica. So please explain all that to me.
Being devastated about you leaving, that was not put on. I did feel sad that you had to go. Like, you had to go. You had to go because, first of all, you didn't tell me about your idol, even though there was a lot of evidence to the fact that you had an idol, and I gave you multiple opportunities. Like, I asked you repeatedly, hey, Leia, people are telling me that you have an idol, but, like, I'm telling them no, she would have told me. I stuck my neck out for you because you and I were close. Look, I'm not an idiot. I know you were close to Danielle and Austin on our first tribe, but I knew that my only shot of survival was trying to get you on my side, trying to get you to like me. I put in a lot of effort to get you to
like you.
And,
yeah.
And look, I connected with you. When I was trying to get you to like me, I connected with you. I felt like we had a good friendship. And it was on the basis of that friendship that I figured, you know what? Leia is close to me. She's not going to hide important things from me. Like, for a long time, I thought, okay, Leia and I are partners in crime. We have this alliance with Carly. This is going to work out great. But then when I realized you're not actually telling me everything.
But you also didn't tell me that you gave Jessica your fucking idol. Like, when did that fucking happen?
But that happened after you got your idol, though. Like, I told you immediately when I got my idol.
I got my idol day 5. I got my idol before you even got yours.
1 minute.
So that doesn't matter.
You know what? We're getting off topic. We're getting off topic. I gave my idol to Jessica. I'm not going to defend that as a big story.
But why? Why did you give your idol to Jessica?
I've already said this. I've already said this. I gave my idol to Jessica off of a whim. It wasn't that she convinced me. It wasn't this great strategic reason. I just did it because I felt like doing it. And after I did it, I was like, I'll play it off. I'll see how this goes. I'll play it off to my best benefit.
And when did you find out that she also had an idol?
She told me immediately when she could. Like, the moment we swapped together, she told me.
So you allowed her to have that much power?
Yeah, I was okay with that. Like, we were close allies. I was okay with that. I didn't think that would actually come back to bite me. And it didn't.
So, I mean, it didn't, but I mean, like, you played up the fact that, like, you had this idol that you were going to protect people with it, but she could have easily fucked you with it.
Wrap it up. Time's up.
All right. All right, that's it. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.
Thanks, Leah. All right. And one more juror to go. I wonder who it is. Definitely not the one that hasn't been here.
I'm glad we're
in Royal Rumble. There's a mystery juror that, like, all of a sudden
it's Katie.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? I'll take Jacob over Katie at this point.
It's actually Sarah.
I take Sarah over both of them. Let's see what the best confessionalist this season has to say to us.
I love his confessions.
I still haven't seen his rap song, which apparently is amazing.
Oh, it was good.
He has great hair. I'll give him that. Like, he has amazing hair. I am very jealous of his hair.
Nav, you're always jealous of a lot of people's hair.
Well, I have bad hair. Like, I have such bad hair.
I like your hair.
It's still growing out. You know, it's in that weird phase where it's not completely grown.
Jacob, you have 10 minutes. Finish us off, buddy.
Well, I never really believed in saving the best for last until this very moment. I'm back, and I know both of you have missed me so much. I'm here. I am intoxicated, and I'm ready to slay the house down boots. Now, okay, so first of all, very quickly, I commend and congratulate both of you for being here in the final 2. You have done what 18 people could not have done in this game. 17 excluding Sarah, but we're not going to talk about that trashy mess. Congratulations, both of you. Nothing but, I mean, not really nothing but respect, but I mean, like, you made it here, and no matter whose perception, you did it. You made the final 2. Congratulations. Now, moving forward into this game, I told myself and I told Ponderosa that if any of the final 2 consisted of Nav, Jessica, Nick, and Steven, that I would kill myself. And here I have a box of powdered bleach that I will be consuming live on the G-Hang. I'm kidding. I'm not going to kill myself. Don't stop the live stream. let's keep going. What I want to do is I'm going to talk for a little bit. I have my timer right here. I'm going to like ask you questions and everything. So please bear with me. Please don't interrupt. I promise it's all worth it in the future. Just please stay on mute. And when we get to the questions and at the end of the thing, you will have your chance to come back at me. So moving on. Both of you have played very similar games. I believe it's kind of ironic that both of you are still in the running for receiving a blanket because you both have been wrapped in a security blanket this entire game. You both have relied heavily on minimal relationships. I am talking about Nick, Steven, and Alex, and really, for the most part, haven't given us the time of day. So moving on from that, in traditional Jacob fashion, I have related both of your gameplays to sex positions. So Jessica, doggy, a frat boy's best friend, very impersonal, predictable rather, actually kind of vanilla at this point, and everything was out in the open, much like an asshole is in the position of doggy style. And you weren't really open to polygamy. You weren't open to threesomes and bringing new people into the relationships. You kind of just stuck with Alex, Nav, Nick, and Steven. Your alliances were very out in the open, and it was very predictable about who you were aligned with and what you were going to do. Nav, reverse cowgirl, risky, messy, potential of shit flying everywhere. And as much as I appreciate and love a chaotic mess, that's all your gameplay really was. You did play a very hidden game with the Katie votes and the Leah votes, and I think that was very commendable of you. No one really knew exactly where you stood. You voted out Nick to hide the fact that you were actually 100% with Jessica and Alex, Nick, and Steven. But at the same time, you kind of only worked within your circle. So now getting to the questions, I'm going to start my questioning off with Casper the Friendly Carrot Top, no. Jessica, sorry. Your social game was about as present and relevant as pussy is in my life. And I'm gay. I am a gold star gay. Never have I seen, touched, nor smelt a kuka in my entire life. And that was basically your social game. You didn't really give Casey, Jared, Chris, myself, even like Carly the time of day. And I wanted to work with you. I know we have had some conversations and I was like, damn, I really want to work with this girl. We can like go far together. And regardless, even though you voted me out, you made it to the final two. Congratulations. With that, I think your gameplay and how others perceived you was very wrapped around the fact that you had two idols. So in 20 seconds or less, your first question out of two that I have for you is, do you believe that if you didn't have two idols, that you'd be sitting here right now? And feel free to explain. Your time starts now.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I would still be sitting here with two idols. I played both of them and they negated votes, but there was never a majority of the votes on me that time. Part of my game was around idols, but a lot of it was, as much as my social game did suck with everyone that wasn't in my alliance, I'll admit that the people I was with, I worked really hard to make sure that we were close and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to my second question for you. You kind of portrayed yourself as America's sweetheart. Everybody kind of saw you as like the Natalie White from Samoa. Fuck that. You have 20 seconds to bash Nav's gameplay and explain why your gameplay is superior. You can feel free to give an example as to why he fucked up making it to the final two with you. Your time starts now, 20 seconds.
Yeah, as much as he says differently, I do think he played to my game in a lot of ways. He gave me his idol, and the thing is, it's like he always told me what exactly was going on. He told me what every bid was for the auction and stuff, and he told me everything in this game. And I used that to my advantage. And he voted out someone like Leah and stuff that was close to him, and because it benefited me. And I think a lot of the things that he did benefited me in terms of the game. And I'm out of time.
Okay, no, you're fine. You're good. Thank you. Wonderful. Moving on to Nav. Hello, sister. I know you've been waiting for this moment forever. Okay, so here we go. Okay, you're lucky this isn't a personality contest because you would have been the first boot, even though Sarah was fucking removed. If you bit your tongue for every pull-up that you've done tonight, and in your intro video, you may have more votes coming your way tonight. As you said at 12:08 a.m. this morning, it takes 5 votes to win. Maybe you should have repeated that just one more time to yourself in the mirror so that you'd retained at least something about winning this game. So, with that, Nav, your jury management is so piss poor. Our Kelly's sheets are jealous. At 12:31 a.m. on Wednesday, February 8th, you said the following, and I quote, "I literally don't give a flying fuck about anybody on this jury," end quote. At the time, 4 out of the 9 people were already in jury. That is 44.44 repeating percent of the jury. It takes 5 votes to win this game. My question to you, in 20 seconds or less, please describe how this statement can help you get jury votes. Your time starts now.
It absolutely doesn't. I was just being unapologetically myself. If the jury doesn't want to vote for me to win, I don't care about their votes. I'm fine with not winning if they're going to vote for somebody that is not me, because I want to win as myself and as nobody else.
Okay, thank you. Oh my God, 4 seconds to spare. Yes, Queen. Okay, moving on. I have to address the issue leaked about my Ponderosa video. So 3 seconds, yes or no question. Did you watch my video?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So moving on from that, first you criticized me in a tribal when I couldn't defend myself. You said something along the lines of, it's not that hard to make a video unlisted. And what I have to say to you is, it's not that hard to not watch a video that you know you should not be watching. The title of the video made it very clear that it was my Ponderosa video and that information would be leaked. But out of disrespect of the game, you chose to watch all 12 minutes and 21 seconds of it and beat my ass raw when I couldn't respond to you. Now, in my video, as you know, I talked about how well of a game Jess was playing and how she can very well win this game. Yet here you are sitting with her in the final 2. My question to you, 20 seconds, how do you justify sitting in the final 2 with her while knowing very well that she had a strong chance of winning? Your time starts now.
I don't care about jury perceptions. I go to the end with people I'm loyal to. I promised Jessica final 2 first in this game. I clicked with her. I was close with her. That's why I'm here with her.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so yes, you made it to the end without needing idols, which is very commendable. But Jessica misplayed both of her idols, meaning that at any point in this game, she never had enough people to rally against her to get her out of this game. By giving her that idol, you gave her control, and she kind of ran with it. So, I don't know. It's just kind of there's no point in reiterating that you gave her an idol for shits and gigs, which is so funny, by the way. I kind of appreciate that. That's so funny. Anyway, but that's it for my questions for you, except I have 2 questions for both of you. One is kind of prove me wrong a little bit, defend yourselves for a little bit. I have been talking this entire time that you guys haven't really been playing socially. You stuck with your inner circle with Alex, Nick, and Steven. I want you to both. I'll start with Jessica. I'll just go in alphabetical order. Please choose 2 people outside of this Nick, Steven, Alex alliance and yourselves, and say one interesting fact that you've learned about them, personally, not from the fucking.
I don't know if you saw. You only have 1 minute, Jacob. So you might want.
Okay, perfect. Just choose one person. Jessica, you could go first.
Okay. Jared, his favorite X-Men is Storm, and that is fantastic and hilarious because of his job, and I love that, and that was really cool to hear. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Nav, your turn.
Just one person?
Just one.
Chris, I love the fact about him that he's a self-made man. He's had jobs before, but he decided to say fuck that and just make something of his own. Work for himself, do what he loves doing as a living, and that's something that I really respect because I could never do that.
Okay, perfect. How much time do I have left? Oh, wrap it up. Okay, so
5 seconds.
Oh fuck no. Okay, sorry. My last thing was gonna be you guys. I wanted you guys to bash me, but I guess it's fine. I guess you don't have to.
Bye.
Okay, bye guys. Good luck.
That was so tame. I am so
He looks like Bret Michaels.
Huh?
He looks like Bret Michaels. I'll bash him.
All right. So you guys have made it through the 9 jurors. The only thing left, well, there's 2 things left to do. One is closing statements. So since Jessica went first earlier, Nab, you will do your closing statement first. Note, you guys only have 3 minutes each for closing statements, not 5.
Okay.
Right? Your 3 minutes starts now, Nab.
Yeah, I promised Jen that I would do closing statements while holding a plank. So I'm going to do my best to hold a plank for 3 minutes, but it's really funny to me that some jurors are trying to justify voting for Jess for playing this strategic game when this game was basically a hot ass mess. And the outcome of this game was literally decided by a rock draw. How the fuck can you be a strategic genius if you're going to go to a rock draw? Like, that's just funny to me, but I understand the jurors have to justify it to themselves when they want to vote for somebody. I am not going to apologize for how I was today. Like I said, if I could be more of an asshole to Carly, I absolutely would be more of an asshole to Carly because she fucking deserves it. And I say that with like no hesitance whatsoever. Fuck off. Like, that's just me. That's just how I am. If you don't want to vote for me, my legacy has been coming in second in every goddamn challenge in this game. So, like, if I end up getting second in this game, that's just a like nice little bow tie at the end of the season, and I'm okay with it. But if you think I'm not playing to win, then you don't know me at all. And if you don't know me at all, don't fucking vote for me. So I'm done. Good night. I'll still hold the plank though.
Alrighty. I mean, that wasn't quite 3 minutes, but what is it compared to 1709? Shut up. So finally, Jess, you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you everyone for making this game pretty awesome for me. But overall, I think I played a game that was one that was about creating perceptions, and I played to that. And my game, I think I did have a lot of control or power with my allies. And I used that to my advantage. And I think I had a lot of information in this game coming to me and that I could use to make decisions in this game. For example, one thing I want to say is that I knew Leah had the idol very early into the swap. As much as Nav didn't want to believe she had it, I asked him, I was like, hey, can you go up to Leah and ask her what it says when you guess the idol code correctly? And you don't get the idol, and he did that, and she couldn't she didn't get the right thing, and I knew that because I put my idol code in twice, and they told me what it was. And from there on, I knew, I was like, okay, this girl has an idol, and I think, and he still didn't believe that with her, but I played this game 100% to what I thought my best ability was. I think I used a lot of things to this game, like where strategy was involved in just creating a perception about myself and using that and knowing what other people thought of me and using that in the way the best I could. And I think I had, like I said, I think I had shields in front of me. I had my idols and that I didn't actually need by the end of it. But I also won the immunities I needed to win. I only had one vote cast against me that wasn't canceled out. Yeah, but I had a lot of fun playing this game. I worked really hard, and I'm just excited to talk to you guys after. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Jess. Yes, there will be a reunion afterwards, which means I'm just going to add you all to a Skype chat. But at this point, I'm going to go and get the votes. Ty, since you switched over accounts, you're good if I leave the Hangout real quick and then come back? Perfect. If the stream ends, blame technology, which somehow we haven't had any technological issues tonight, which is a fucking miracle. So,
I'm going to need you both to keep your hands up during the voting, if only so that my liver doesn't give out when Jessica keeps touching her hair. Stop it! Stop doing that.
All right, jurors, be ready for calls on Skypes. I will be back in like 5 minutes.
I don't want to die today. Anyway.
I tried. Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's telling me it's going to end the broadcast, but usually it doesn't do that. So I'm just going to mute and go off camera.
I mean, you
I
should
need
be
to,
fine.
I need to pee. Can I go pee?
Yes, pee.
Thank you.
God, I'm so sorry for touching my hair.
It's fine. It's fine.
I do it when I'm anxious, so it just happens.
I'm not turning yellow yet, so to that end, like, cirrhosis of the liver hasn't claimed me. So to that end, we should be fine. It'll all be just fine. You got it. Jordan gets all their votes together. I want to shout out to all of the viewers that we had this season. We always appreciate our alumni and non-alumni people like Brian Moyan and others. I'm drunk, so I can't think of names right now. But, we're always appreciative of you fine people. To the cast, it's been a crazy ride, but we appreciate all of you sticking with us and for providing the utter fucking insanity that was this season. So
was Brian Nelson watching at all?
I know Steve Fritz was from Chronicles, like the Chronicles host. I know
Right.
he was. He would always ask me for the Tribal Council links. I think Brian Nelson knows that you all murdered Steven, so you monsters. But it's fine. It's okay.
There's one thing Steve Fritz said about me in Chronicles that I still remember very vividly, and it may or may not be true still. I think Ty, you can decide, but he said that you should never vote Nav out because anybody with a vagina is gonna know what Nav is thinking. And that's why you should never vote Nav out.
Steve Fritz. I miss him.
Oh.
Shout out to Steve Fritz, in case he's still awake watching this. He may not be because the Vikings got murdered by the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. So I'm just glad that Steve Fritz is still alive.
Stuff happened, yes.
But although he took it much better than Alex Rico did. Just throwing that out there.
Alex Rico looked so...
Throwing it like a football, except I'm Tom Brady. The football's not in my hands anymore because I fumbled it in the most important play of the game. It's fine. It's all right. Anyway. I digress. You kids have anybody you want to shout out to, so that we're doing something?
I want to give a shout out to my entire Rustic community. It's Alias, and I love them all so much because, well, they're not OpenID people, basically.
When is Maddie doing her next game? When's that?
Was that up?
When is Maddie or Colleen, as she calls her?
Probably not till the end of this year because she takes long breaks.
Okay.
And her co-host is he works he has some sort of government job, so he doesn't have that much free time, and he really does a lot of the planning too. So
I gotcha. That was a good game. I mean, I'm not a fan of Angry Birds, but we do.
Yeah, you got fucked over by that swap.
Fine. Jess, do you have anyone you'd like to shout out? Do you have a viewer that maybe that you would like to maybe speak to in this moment?
There's a guy named Kilby who hopefully was rooting for me, and hopefully he's not too disappointed in my performance.
He liked one of my videos. I think he liked one of my videos a long time back.
I don't think I was his favorite in this game, despite him dating me.
No, I mean, based on his Facebook comments,
pizza during the endurance challenge, which is love. That is.
That's true. That's true.
Feeding another human, at least to me, is proof of a deep affection.
Ty, have the SummerSlam tickets gone on sale yet, Ty?
Shit, that's a good question.
Yeah, I haven't checked in a while.
I think some people from the community I'm from maybe watched this, or at least they might have been following parts of the game. Shout out to them, I guess.
There you go.
Shout out to them.
I don't even say it like that at all.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Shout out. Shout out. Shout out. I didn't even go shirtless. I was going to go shirtless. I'll go shirtless now. No. That would be a very sexist thing to do.
I will not go shirtless. But I mean, you were only attracted to me because of my boobs, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. Yes. But for some reason, I hate every other boob. Is there something special about your boobs? Like, do you have essence of vanilla on there or something?
What's this? Oh, Jen's here. Hello, Jen.
Hola.
Jen, do you want me to go shirtless?
No comment.
Thanks for the pull-ups idea, by the way. I think that was a real hit.
Oh my gosh, did you really? Jess, did you go shirtless too?
I didn't.
Oh, dang it.
I feel like the shirt's almost my skin tone though. It's like pinky
Well,
red.
when I asked that, you were at just the angle because I'm on my phone.
So predictions, Jess. How is the vote gonna go?
Oh man, I don't know. What do you think?
I think 7-2, you win. Like I'm pretty sure I told you that before the vote. I think you're gonna win 7-2.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of the guys want to vote you. Not so much of the girls, I think.
I mean, they do want to. Actually, you know what? Actually, I think it would be funnier if the vote was 5-4 and you won, because I think I really hope it's 5-4 actually, and you winning. Look, like Carly is gonna vote for you, Casey is gonna vote for you, Leia I think is gonna vote for you actually, because yeah, for whatever reason Leia's gonna vote for you. That's 3. Jacob I think was always gonna vote for you, and then Alex. Yeah, I think that's 5 votes you get. And you know what? You know, as much as Nick and Stephen were on the fence, I do think they're gonna vote for you. So, oh well.
I think one of you is going to win.
Whoa.
I don't know about that.
I feel like the jury doesn't actually want us to win.
We're actually about to unveil the final twist, which is that
season got canceled.
no, the final twist of the season is that I've been waiting since May for a blanket, so I'm just going to let them all vote for me now.
Don't.
To be fair, I commend the jury on, like, nobody quit the jury. Like, I am really proud of the jury for not quitting when they saw this final two.
There needs to be a blanket with me in a giant furry Russian hat. Like, that's just a thing. Like, it's nothing against either of you. It's just that none of you own a hat as impressive as my hat. I don't know.
I have a fedora. No, Ty, I have a fedora.
Yeah, but I mean, I have an Imperial Russian hat. Like, I'm pretty sure that I murdered some Cossacks. Like, in that hat, like in a past life. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a thing that I did. If I were to guess.
Hey, Jess, can you fold laundry too?
I don't have laundry to fold right now.
Can you just go get some? Because I feel like I need to balance this call out.
I'm sorry that I'm multitasking and making good use of my time. I'm sorry.
I will fold my blanket.
Okay, thank you. I'm
You're
just
gonna
saying
fold
I
that
need,
blanket
like,
that you're about
there
to
we
win?
go. There we go. I just need some bookends.
Yeah, I'm doing a really bad job of folding this. I just kind of rolled it up. I still have an essay right after this. Whee!
You always have an essay, right?
This is my last one for like 5 days. And it's late now because I was working on my opening statement instead of working on it. God damn it. I need the blanket to like cry to as I see my grades.
You didn't even let me work on my opening statement. Like, I was trying to work on my opening statement and Jessica was on a call with me. Like, talk to me. She sabotaged me. This is all her fault. She sabotaged me. I am so great at making friends.
Me too.
I should probably apologize to Carly at some point, but you know, who knows if I'll actually do that.
I'm gonna make you.
Is she crying? Is Carly crying? Because that would probably, yeah, probably make me.
I'm not there where she is, so I don't know. I don't have.
Nev, I'm gonna need you to write a 10-page apology letter to Carly.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Oh.
They're all they're like the jury's all somewhere else right now voting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on Skype calls.
Right now they're all getting called to vote.
Like just like tribal council.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put your hands up. Just kidding.
Man, I didn't even drink tonight.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
All right, guys, I am back. So I know I heard Ty say it a little bit while I was taking votes, but once again, just thank you to everyone who's been involved in this season. It has been a wild ride, to say the least. But we have a bunch of amazing viewers, you know, those who had confessional access and those who just followed through Facebook. It has been a lot of fun. We are so excited to start All Stars next. But right now, it is time for the end of this season. So I have the votes for the final time this season. And no, Nav, because I know you're going to ask, you cannot play your immunity idol. So this time you want to see votes with your name on it. It takes 5 to win. And with that, 1 second, I flipped them upside down. I accidentally screwed up the order. With that, let's get to it. First vote, Jessica.
Oh, for feminism.
Second vote, Nav. Third vote,
that's rich.
Jessica. Fourth vote, Jessica.
Oh, age one, okay.
Jessica.
Nice.
That's 4 votes, Jess. Oh, I'll hold it up so you can read it. That's 4 votes, Jess. 1 vote now. 6th vote.
And the winner. Yeah. What?
7th vote. Nav.
You suck. I like that.
8th vote. Nav.
Oh man, it's really 5-4. Oh my god, it's really 5-4. 5-4, 5-4.
4 votes, Jess. 4 votes, Nav. This vote will decide it. And yeah. So 5th vote, 5th vote, 9th vote, and the winner of Power Struggle Anzhu is Jessica.
Yes! Yeah! Nice! Nice!
Oh my god.
You both played a great game. I feel like that's a fitting end to the season. And if either of you have anything that you want to say before we go off air,
oh my god.
So.
Thank you so much for the people that voted for me. Oh my god. Crazy. Oh my god.
That was amazing.
So yeah. Congratulations, Jess. You become the 6th winner of the series and only the 2nd female to ever win.
And the first person who probably actually needs a blanket because you're in Canada.
The first female winner that actually needs a blanket. So yeah, you get a blanket with either your face or the season logo on it, whatever you choose.
Or the idols.
No, not the idols. But with that, thank you again, everyone, for a fabulous season, and we will see you in March for All Stars.
All right.